But her new album is called This Is Me Now. It's available wherever you get your music, and she has an original on Prime Video called This Is Me Now, a love story. It's incredible. She's also got a documentary out called The Greatest Love Story Never Told. You can see it on Prime Video on February 27th. Everybody, give it up for Jennifer Lopez! Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, yes.
I feel like I've spent the last like 12 hours with you because I feel like we've been on a date for 12 hours because I wanted to watch everything, and there's so much coming out right now with this trilogy, and it's the most incredible undertaking, by the way, just from an artist point of view. Like, I'm not even talking about the acting, the dance, everything's coming into play in this whole thing. Yeah. It's just incredible, all the talent that you are capable of.
You're one of my favorite voices ever.
You're very nice. You're very nice.
I have like my 5 favorite singers of all time, and you're one of them.
What?
Yeah.
Just in awe watching this whole thing, and then got some PTSD with a lot of the subject matters, but we'll get into that. This Is Me Then, 22 years ago, right? So the album. And so how do you think you've evolved for now?
Oh God, I mean, that's what the whole project is about. You know what I mean? I did, just so everybody knows, I did an album 20 years ago when I announced this album called This Is Me Then. At that time I had fallen in love, and I was like, so inspired, and I did this whole album, and it really captured that moment in time. Yeah. And so in kind of like a strange plot twist of life, we wound up getting back together, you know, 18 years later. And it was...
Feel free to make this rom-com, by the way. Okay, cool.
Yes. 20 years later. And I was really inspired to go back in and make music again in that same way. And
but you did that and then took it to like the next level.
But the thing that happened is, as you're in the studio, and you know this, you start talking about things, you're finding the songs, everything's kind of happening in real time. And it made me really look at the time in between. Yeah. You know what I mean? And reflect on like,
the road that led you.
How did I get from there to there? Like, how did that happen? Like,
and who would have thought?
Who would have thought? All the things, and the second chances, but it's really not about that. And I was like, this is not a fairy tale. And so...
It's a real tale.
It's a real tale, and I finished the album, and it was so special, it was so beautiful. And then there was all this other stuff, and I was like, this is not the whole story. I have to make another piece of it. So the album actually inspired the second part of it. I didn't want to just make a video. I knew the music was more special than anything I'd ever done.
I'm so glad you didn't just do it. Yeah. It is so cool how you've done it. I've never seen anything like it, like in the sense of like, even like the, you know, I don't want to spoil anything, but even these moments where the acting comes into play, and then you go and you listen to the songs, and you feel the justice, you feel everything.
Thank you.
Like while watching you, while listening to you. Is it hard for you to be that vulnerable? Because
it is at times. With this one, it was really, because it was the most honest album I ever did. And then to do this part of it, like half the time when you guys see, it's 3 parts to it. It's the album, it's this Amazon original, both that are coming out. And then there's this documentary, the behind the scenes, which when you watch it, it's kind of the story of a hopeless romantic, which I have been, and I am.
I think a lot of us are.
Yeah, and I think it's just watching the hopeless romantic, you know, kind of journey through life in the search for what love is.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too. I just thought of this, like watching all that, and even the different songs, the different places in your life. I'm now running through movies that you maybe chose subconsciously.
Oh, absolutely. And every song I ever recorded. Yeah. All of the things that I've ever chosen to do.
It was all there. And
were always about what was going on in my life, even though it wasn't just an overt kind of thing. Like, yes, this is happening with me right now, but you are drawn to things. I am drawn to things in which I am either suffering
Reacting to
through
right then, yeah.
or, you know, going through or celebrating or all different, right? There's tons of different emotions that go into the things that we choose to do as artists and put out there.
Yeah.
Right? But it has to be kind of true because people know when it's not. They know when
it's transparent. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I love
don't
when
say
someone
that
puts
on
out a
TV.
song though, and I'm just like, I do not believe that you've ever been brokenhearted. You would not be singing it like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're like, that would sound very different if you had actually.
No, you know when people have been broken.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that that challenges me. And that's a work in progress always. I don't claim to have anything all figured out. And I think that's the most fun part of my life.
Yeah. Anyone who's claiming to have it all figured out is the reason why we're in therapy.
Kapag mismo, pwede naman gagawin. I-click ang subscribe button
At like, comment, and share. Follow viewers.
at playlist ng video. Mga kapay Eva, 5 Eva laging kakasama kahit kailan, kahit saan. Ito ang mga programa ang mapapanood. Also available on Plus TV, Google Play Store, and App Store. Sa Kapay Eva on demand and online live.